The views and opinions expressed by a participant on this program do not necessarily reflect or represent the views or opinions of West Liberty University or WLU-TV 14.
Welcome into Hilltopper Sports Weekly Men's Basketball Edition. I am Todd All. I'm joined by head coach Ben Howlett. Coach, the Toppers stayed undefeated this past week after the Christmas break. They went down to play West Virginia State, then came home to play Charleston. A good 2 games overall.
Yeah, we had 16 days off of no basketball, so it was good to get back and play a really good game at West Virginia State and come home and beat a really good Charleston team.
Well, let's get to those highlights from West Virginia State. The Toppers would start things off. Monterosso got the scoring started with the left hand, 2-0 West Liberty.
Yeah, this is a set that we run off the opening tip a lot of games and clear one side and let Dan kind of create on his own.
Later on in the first half, Dalton Bolin gives the Toppers a 10-point lead. This one made it 38-28 Toppers. Monterosso's nice drive there, and another 3-point shot from Dalton Bolin all season long. He's been doing it. This one comes up a little bit short, but Eric Meininger gets the rebound. Bolin comes back with the two-handed slam, maybe one of the biggest highlights of the season so far.
Yeah, that's all started by Eric Meininger's offensive rebound, and Dalton was relentless in this game. That's no surprise to me that he's able to follow it up with a dunk.
That one made it 44-30 in favor of West Liberty. Evan French's three-pointer puts West Liberty up 15, 51-36. The Toppers would take a 16-point lead into halftime, 63-47. We move to the second half. Monterosso got the scoring started in the second as well with an and one. This made it 66-47.
His ability to make tough shots is no secret to Hilltopper Nation. He's been doing it all season long.
And it's going to be time for James Griffin. He gets the lay-in on a nice fast break transition bucket. Nothing new for Topper Nation either. 81-53, 28-point lead for the Toppers.
We're firing on all cylinders right now at this point in the game.
Now it's Nate Allen off the bench, 3-point shot, 40-point lead for the Toppers, 108-68. Everybody for West Liberty is hitting shots this season. Later on, it'll be Luke Dyer finding Tyler Primer. Remember that name. It'll be coming up again later on in this show. 3-point shot gave West Liberty their largest lead with 45 points. It went 119-74 at this point late in the ball game.
Yeah, when Tyler has his feet set, he's a above 50% three-point shooter.
And this was the final score, 119-82. Bolin with a double-double, 20 points, 12 rebounds. Dan Monterosso, 20 points as well, 6 rebounds, 5 assists for the senior.
Yeah, both those guys played great, and we talked about it in shoot-around. We wanted to really stress our denials and our full-court pressure against West Virginia State.
West Liberty got off 100 shot attempts in this game, hit 49 of them. They had 23 assists on 49 made shots, 60 rebounds, 30 offensive rebounds, 30 defensive. Impressive all over the stat sheet.
Yeah, I don't know if the 100 shots in a game is a record, but I would assume it's probably pretty close. Anytime you can shoot 100 shots in a game, you're doing something right.
It's close to the West Liberty record, not quite there. We go to the game against Charleston at home. West Liberty, again, coming up big against Charleston. A cutting Tyler Primer through the lane. A nice pass from Nate Allen as well. Got the scoring started 2-0 West Liberty at this point. And it's going to be Brandon Smith hits a 3-point shot, makes it 7-2 West Liberty. Watson and Evan French would hit 3-pointers as well to push this lead to 13-4.
Yeah, our second platoon really gave us good minutes off the bench. Our first platoon was struggling, but it was nice to see our second platoon get in there and cause some damage.
This is James Griffin with a 3-point shot. Monterosso gets the steal and finds James Griffin again for the drive. This all happened right in front of his parents sitting in the front row.
Yeah, it was awesome to see that. He wanted to have a good game in front of his mom and dad, and I'm so happy for him that he was able to do that.
Evan French puts the Toppers up 20, 31-11 with that 3-point shot. A nice pass from Luke Dyer. Did a great job as a facilitator in this game.
Yeah, if you look at Luke's numbers after the game, it's exactly what we want out of him. Probably 8 points, 4 assists, 0 turnovers, a couple steals.
This is a late 3-pointer in the first half for Watson, makes it a 20-point lead, 44-24. The steal by Meininger gets it to Bolin on the baseline drive and the dunk, or in the lay-in, made it 50-28 West Liberty. They led 55-30 at halftime.
Yeah, we had a really good first half, probably the best first half we've had all season long, and that's due to our pressure on defense.
And this play starts the second half. Eric Meininger wastes no time. It looked like Charleston was not even ready for that play, but the finish for Griffin.
Yeah, that's something we emphasize. Try to catch teams sleeping, and if Eric's on the floor, you better be looking for the ball.
Now Meininger going to drive. The and one was converted for this. Made it 65-41, showing that it's not just the passing game that he can really play.
Yeah, this is where he's improved so much, is taking the ball to the basket and kind of being able to finish among the crowd.
Now it's going to be Brandon Smith, a smooth straightaway three-point shot. This one made it 78-56. The second platoon for the Toppers in this game really stepped up.
Yeah, fun to watch when these guys are clicking. Really good group of guys that coach.
After this three-point shot, guess what? Another one. This one comes from Jordan Watson. Stares the defender down and just puts it right in his eye. 88-65. At that point, Toppers cruising. Later on, another transfer for West Liberty. Nate Allen would get a three-point shot to get the Toppers to the century mark and a 30-point lead. They would take the lead 102-72 in this ball game. Really overmatched Charleston, who was a very good basketball team. The Toppers would win 106-80. James Griffin, 19 points, 5 rebounds. Eric Meininger, 16 points, 6 rebounds, perfect from the free throw line.
Yeah, we got contributions from everybody on the team, and that's what's fun to watch is everybody's a part of this. No egos, just guys wanting to win.
And again, you look at the stat sheet, the Toppers shooting 49% once again, second straight game. 22 assists on 37 made shots, 11 steals, 41 rebounds in this ball game. Toppers shooting extremely well. I don't know. It doesn't look like West Liberty's slowing down. If anything, it looks like the Toppers are really picking up speed as this meat of the Mountain East Conference schedule gets going.
Yeah, I think that 16-day layoff really gave our guys time to recuperate and nurse their injuries. And once they came back, we were without heat for a couple of days in the ASRC, so we had to go elsewhere to practice. We had really good practices leading up to that game, to those two games, and we've had a good practice leading up to the game tonight versus Wise.
Yeah, so the next two games for West Liberty will be the longest road trip of the regular season. We go to Virginia Wise on Thursday the 11th, then to Concord Saturday the 13th. The game at Wise will be an audio-only broadcast at 7:30 p.m., so be sure to tune into the West Liberty Sports Network to listen to the Toppers take on Virginia Wise. Then at Concord on Saturday the 13th, another audio-only broadcast. This one will be at 3 p.m. Again, usually starting time on Saturdays is 4. This one up an hour earlier at 3 p.m. Tuned in to the West Liberty Sports Network. On the next segment, we will have Hilltopper player Tyler Primer join us on the set on Hilltopper Sports Weekly. Welcome back to Hilltopper Sports Weekly. On the second segment, we've got player Tyler Primer here with us. Tyler, thank you for being on the show.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Tyler, this season, just like last season, got a lot of time coming off the bench for the Toppers. This season, though, the second platoon, especially the last game against Charleston, really stepped up big time and I don't want to say outplayed the first platoon, but definitely got a lot of production coming from you guys.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, our goal as our second platoon is to come up and bump up the energy. Whenever we get in that, 2 minutes into the game, around the 17 and a half minute mark, we come in and we just try to bump up the energy, and we did that for sure against Charleston. It's not that, nothing was really falling for the first squad, but we just got it rolling, and I think once first squad got back in there after we did our damage, then that helped them move along too.
The Toppers are obviously one of the top teams in the country now, ranked number 3 in the nation. It's not surprising to see that some of the depth players that they do have, the role players, could easily be starting for a lot of the teams that they play against, and that's kind of what we're seeing with West Liberty, where a lot of the guys on the West Liberty second platoon, where you look at the other team, like a lot of these guys could be starting for a lot of the teams that you play against, but that's also what makes West Liberty such a good team. You were one of those players. Just talk about that dynamic and knowing that every single player on your roster can really play this game.
Oh, well, there's no doubt about that. Everyone's got to accept their role, and whether you're starting or you're coming off the bench and getting a little bit of minutes here or there, whatever it is, you gotta accept your role. And if you can do that, obviously we're 13-0, and I think that has a big part of it, just everyone accepting their role, and it's worked out for us so far. Yeah.
You redshirted your freshman season. You see a lot of guys do that nowadays. Did that really help in your development, being able to watch this system and watch how these guys play, and then when you stepped in, you were ready to go as a redshirt freshman?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, when I came in, there were some really good players here, and Seeger Bonifant and Mike Lamberti. We had a couple transfers in that year that were pretty solid. So yeah, my redshirt year definitely helped me for now, and we're still growing as a team, and I definitely think it helped me for sure.
It's been fun to watch you play. You mentioned the name Seeger Bonifant. You see a little bit of that in your game, because when I watch you play, defensively you do a great job. On the press you do a great job. Man-to-man you do a great job. Also, just like everybody on the roster, you can hit from behind the arc, no problem. Very consistent from there, but also the ability to drive to the bucket. As you can see on some of these plays here, you were getting an offensive rebound. You can play the low post as well, so it's kind of an all-around game, kind of like Seeger Bonifant had. It's just been really impressive to watch from you this year.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So this season, you've got so far averaging 6.5 points per game, shooting well over 50%, 40% from behind the arc, and you're shooting extremely well from the free throw line, almost 90%, 3.5 rebounds, almost 2 assists per game, and 5 steals on this season. A lot of people would look at that and think, it's starter numbers. Those are worthy of those kind of minutes that you get as the second platoon, and you're stepping up every single game just like those guys. And are you a little bit of that veteran leader for that second group as well?
I think so, and both coaches try to push that. Myself and Evan French is also 4-year guy that's been here. And Brandon Smith as well. He's been here for a long time too. So we try to definitely try to be the veteran leaders for our squad and for the whole team as well, whether it's during the games or practices too. So.
Is that part of the reason why West Liberty has been so good this season? There's so many leaders and guys that are willing to step up and do whatever is asked of them on the floor?
I think that, yeah, definitely. Like I said, we got to accept that role. There are a lot of returning guys back, and it definitely helps us out a lot for sure.
Well, coming into this season, there were some changes in the offseason, obviously. What were your expectations coming into this year, your goals coming into this season?
Same as it's always been. Obviously our goal here is to win a conference championship and first, and then make the NCAA tournament and see where it goes. And as of right now, we're on pace for that. But as far as coming into the season, nothing was changed. As far as we all had the same demeanor, and we were ready to work from day one.
And some of the new transfers that came in with Jordan and Nate, and some of the freshmen coming in as well. What was it like for you as a veteran and some of the other veteran members of the team to kind of get them acclimated to how things are done at West Liberty?
Oh, it's an easy process. All the guys are easy to get along with, and we like to have fun. And from the get-go, those guys we took them under our wing for sure. I mean that's all we can do up here. We're all in or you're not. So we take those guys in for sure, and they've been a huge part of our team this year.
And all the players that have come on this year, come on the show this year, I've asked about Brady Arnold and what he has meant to the team and how that has affected them. So knowing for Brady as long as you have, what was that like, and how are you guys getting along through this season with that going on?
I talk to him 3 or 4 times a week still, just to keep in touch. And it's hard not having him here. We miss him a lot, and I think that we want him here more than he wants to be here. I know he wants to be here, but as a team, we really miss him. Really miss him on the court, on and off the court. He's a fireball, and just can't wait for him to be back. Just really can't wait for him to be back.
Well, it was great to see him when he got to show up for the one game and sit on the bench. I was telling Coach, during that game, sitting there, I'm calling it. I sit next to the bench. It was late in the game where it was a point in the game where it seemed like it was already in hand. The Toppers already had the win. There was a timeout, and he's up behind the huddle making some of the other players laugh, and you can see like, hey, there's a game going on, Brady. Quit joking around, and he's just Brady Arnold making everybody happy.
That's Brady. He's always laughing. It could be the most serious situation in the world, and he's going to figure out how to get a laugh out of it, which is a good thing for sure. He's a good guy.
So we got a couple questions left. They're going to be on the lighter side. I didn't get a chance to ask Evan French this because we ran out of time, so I'm going to apologize to Evan that I didn't get a chance to ask him this, but we've asked all the other players and Coach Irvin this as well. If you had the option, would you rather play Coach Hallett one-on-one or play on a team in a two-on-two tournament with him?
I'd rather play in a 2-on-2 with him.
Okay.
I definitely would rather play in a 2-on-2 with him. He and I play pretty good 3-on-3 games together, so got a lot of wins under there. So I think we might be able to take him 2-on-2.
I've gotten a lot of one-on-one answers. There's been pretty good there. The last question I'm going to ask is not one that I wrote. Our executive producer wanted me to ask this. It's about the hair on the team. Everybody seems to really get their hair done really well before the game starts. Is that a focus for the Toppers to make sure you look good, you feel good, you play good? Is it one of those kind of things?
It's definitely one of those kind of things for sure. I think we got a lot of guys that like to look good, including myself. Dan, he likes to look good. So yeah, we make sure we're looking all right before we go out on the court. That's for sure.
Well, I'm sorry if I embarrassed you with that question.
No,
I feel like
not
I
at all.
embarrassed myself a little bit. But, Tyler, thank you for being here. The Toppers do look good with their hair on the court, but they look good playing as well. The Toppers now up to number 3 in the nation. Again, Tyler, thank you for joining us on set, and good luck down at Wise and Concord and for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we will have Coach Hallett back on set. We will take a look around the Mountain East Conference and the upcoming games for the Toppers on Hilltopper Sports Weekly. Welcome back to Hilltopper Sports Weekly Men's Basketball Edition. We take a look at the Mountain East Conference men's basketball standings. The Toppers still number 1 in the Mountain East, undefeated, 13-0, 8-0 in the conference, number 3 in the nation. Doesn't look like anybody's going to stop them, at least so far. Number 19, Wheeling Jesuit, 11-2, 7-1 in Mountain East Conference play. The only other 10 double-digit win team is Fairmont State. They are 10-4, 6-2 overall. Concord 8-5, 5-3. Then a logjam at 4-4 with Charleston, Shepherd, State, and Wise. Then Notre Dame and Urbana both at 2-6 in Mountain East Conference play. Then Glenville State and West Virginia Wesleyan both 1-7. Wesleyan still looking for their second victory of the season. Now the Mountain East Conference named their latest player of the week. He hails from Wheeling Jesuit University, Pat Mose. He averaged 22.5 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in 2 wins last week. He had 30 points, a career high, against Charleston. That's after missing the previous 3 games. And they also beat West Virginia State. He had 15 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. So Pat Mose playing pretty well coming off an injury.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I've known Pat for 4 years now. I've coached against him and talked to him numerous times. He's very versatile. There's nothing he really can't do on the basketball court. He can dribble, pass, shoot, rebound. He's a bigger body, so he's a good player and a really good kid.
The Toppers will have Wheeling Jesuit coming up here a little later on in the schedule in 2018, but their next game will be January 11th at Virginia Wise. That game will be at 7:30 p.m. Wise gave the Toppers 2 good games last season, looking to do the same this year.
Yeah, they're a good team, and they're pretty good on their home court. Obviously, with them, it starts with Michael Seals and Tyo Badmus. Got to stop those 2 guys and hopefully get to their bench a little bit.
And then the Toppers will travel to Concord the next Saturday the 13th. This game will be at 3 p.m. It's moved up an hour from the usual start time, 4 p.m. on Saturdays. So tune into West Liberty Sports Network to listen to an audio-only broadcast at 3 p.m. Concord. This was one of the games the Toppers fell last season at Concord.
Yeah, always a tough place to play, and we've had our work cut out there, for the past 6 years, and hoping to change that. But when you talk Concord, the first thing you think about is Tommy Bolte. He's probably one of the leading scorers in the country right now, so he's going to require some special attention. So we'll have to do a good job of guarding him, and then hopefully we can shut the other guys down too.
Well, the Toppers have been rolling 10, 12 deep. A little bit of an injury for Marlon Moore down at West Virginia State. Rolled an ankle. What's his status?
I think Marlon's fine. I think if it was a close game, I think he would have remained in the game for us down there at State. But he's actually battling the flu now, so he's been out the last 2 practices. But he's informed me today that he's ready to go tomorrow at Wise.
That sounds like somebody that really wants to play. So hopefully Marlon will be able to. Coach, we asked Tyler Primer about this with the hair, the look good, feel good, play good. Is that something that the coaches let the players know? I mean, do the coaches need a hair day as well, maybe minus Coach Huffman?
Absolutely. Coach Irvin and myself take good pride in our hair. Coach Huffman, I wish I could say the same for him, but he's missing some hair. But our guys do a good job of looking good before games, and they let it be known they like hair gel. They all got hair gel in their locker. So it's kind of fun, and our guys kind of make a joke about it, about using hair gel. All good and fun.
Yeah. Well, Coach Huffman apologized, not to make fun. Coach Huffman's got too much time, or not enough time on his hands. He's coaching. We talked about this before on a previous show, maybe about 7 different teams with his kids playing different sports and everything. So not enough time to worry about hair gel and things of that nature. So sorry about that, Coach Huffman. So again, the Toppers will play Virginia Wise this coming Thursday, the 13th, and Concord, the coming January 11th, and Concord on the 13th on the West Liberty Sports Network. Please tune in to listen to both of those games, audio-only broadcasts for both. So, Coach, thank you for being on the show again. Good luck this weekend, the longest road trip of the season. Anything special that you tell your players, or are they just next game?
No, don't let your guard down. Take this thing one game at a time, and we're going to get every team's best shot. So don't let your guard down and play the way we play, which is West Liberty basketball, up-tempo, flying around, having fun.
Sounds good, Coach. I will see you down in Wise, Virginia. Hope that you get to tune in as well and listen to our broadcast as the Toppers take on the Cavs of UVA Wise. Thank you for joining us. Until next time on Hilltopper Sports Weekly.